Reolink makes two very different floodlight cameras in the Elite or the TrackFlex. So which one is right for you? I have reviewed both and can tell you the big differences as well as similarities between the two. I'm Wanderer 001. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get into it. I will start things off with the similarities between these two floodlight cameras, and first and foremost is actually the floodlights themselves. They are exactly the same in that they have 3,000 lumens, which does light up a very good amount of ground around them, and they have adjustable color temperatures between 3,000 Kelvin and 6,000 Kelvin. So whether you need a cooler white light or a warmer orangish light, both cameras have you covered. Connectivity wise, they both support 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi spectrum and support Wi-Fi 6. Likewise, each camera supports a 512 gigabyte micro SD card with optional storage options of the Reolink NVR system, the Reolink Home Hub, or FTP/NAS servers. Where they differ though in this particular area is the security of that micro SD card. The Elite here has a actual metal screwed in cap over the SD card, while the TrackFlex houses it on the rotating ball head behind a rubber flap. So this is where things start to get different, but we're going to finish up with our similarities in that they're both IP66 weather rated, so no problem with snow or rain. I've had the opportunity to test both of them in these situations and they have performed immaculately. Both cameras also support local AI for notifications of person, pet, vehicle, and in fact even video search for person in this color jacket or person wearing a hat. All locally done, all for free. Reolink does not charge you for these features where other manufacturers do. Now let's start to talk about some of the differences between these two cameras. First being build material. The Elite is a mostly metal construction from the camera to the base, while the TrackFlex is a mostly plastic construction and is long and vertical in shape. This one you could see is kind of squat and tucked in there. The cameras are the other big difference between these two floodlight cameras, with the Elite having two separate cameras that are stitched together, giving you a 5120 by 1552 resolution at 20 frames a second, and has a field of view of 180 degrees horizontal and 59 degrees vertical, while the TrackFlex, being a PTZ camera and offers two different views, has one camera view at 3840 by 2160, 20 frames a second, and has a field of view of 104 degrees horizontal and 60 degrees vertical, while the secondary camera that zooms in is 1920 by 1080, also 20 frames a second, with a 38 degree horizontal with 21 degree vertical field of view. The other major difference is, as you can see here, the Elite's position of the camera. I feel the Elite is better for a wall fit as opposed to as I have it, which is under an eaves upside down. And that's primarily because of the gutter I have here. The camera took a lot of finagling to avoid getting a lot of bounce back and reflection from that gutter, while the TrackFlex is more cylindrical in shape, allowing it to be placed underneath an eaves or even on a wall much easier. It really depends on where you need this camera to be and what it needs to see. In my case, the TrackFlex is just a little long and it picks up a lot more shrub than I would like in front of the camera. With the differences out of the way, let's talk about noticeable features. The Elite has a super wide field of view from a single video output, making it a great option for those that need to keep track of a large area or a wide area and only want a single video. The TrackFlex has a multi-camera view with automatic pan tilting and zooming. However, that's all done through the AI and occasionally can miss zooming in on a target. But the other feature that the TrackFlex has is built-in PIR sensors, meaning if the camera is not visibly looking at something and something approaches from the side, the camera's PIR sensor can tell the camera lens to flip over to that direction. Which is the right camera for you? The Elite is going to be for those that want to see everything in a single shot and have the room for it and don't have to worry about the placement of the LEDs interfering with the actual video feed or illuminating where you want. While the TrackFlex is good for those that want to follow targets around their yard and zoom in on them without having to do a thing on their own. It's good for seeing people and pets close up as they move around. And optimally, if you have it corner mounted like this, the PIR sensors are a good way to have it whip around and follow things that might not be in the field of view of the camera. All in all, either is a great option as a floodlight camera, so it's a matter of what features you're looking for in a floodlight camera and where you want to mount it at your home. If either of these sound like what you've been looking for, I will have links where you could pick them up for yourself in the description area below. If you appreciate the time and effort that goes into making comprehensive videos like this, make sure to hit that like button to help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here and want to be notified of my next review, hit that subscribe button. Still not sure which of these is the right floodlight camera for you? On screen now, you will see the in-depth, dedicated review videos I have done for each of these cameras to help you make a more informed decision for yourself.